welcome to another session with me. Today we're going to be talking about tracking goals, and I think this is a really opportune topic to talk about because we are now in the beginning of February, so a month has gone by, and I know a lot of you set goals in December or towards the end of December, beginning of January, to figure out or to determine what are priorities for you. So I just want you to think about like the financial goals you set for yourself. Have you been able to achieve them within the time frame, or are you still working towards achieving them? Within those financial goals you set, are you tracking your goals? Are you being consistent? Are you making micro steps towards improving and getting to the goals that you have set for yourself? So for example, let's say you decided that you want to set up an emergency fund that has between 10 to 20,000 in there. That's a good goal to have. But how are you breaking it down so that you're achieving that every paycheck or every week or every month? Are you setting it up on like a schedule, an auto pay schedule? Are you directly depositing it out of your paycheck? What are the benchmarks you're using to reach your goals? You can also play around with achieving your goals by like doing fun things to help you achieve each step that you accomplish. So like you could set a thermometer scale type of goal, and each time you reach a certain level, you celebrate with yourself. So that's something small you can do. The other thing you want to look into with your finances is looking on the expense side of things, because you're going to have the income side where you're building your emergency savings or your emergency buffer, and then you also want to look at your expenses to figure out how can you reduce things that are wants and not needs. How can you lower your expenses while increasing your income? And in order to do that, you obviously need to have a grasp and a hold on your budget. So have you taken the time to analyze how money flows in and out of your accounts? If you haven't, I encourage you to do an audit of all your accounts. Also, while you're looking at your accounts, try and see if your accounts are working hard for you. Are you putting a lot of your money in like a low interest account when you could put it in a high yield savings or a high yield money market account, or even a CD if you don't need that money right then and there? Or are you just keeping it in a low checking account and you're not really using that checking account regularly? Maybe you could put some of it in a high yield savings and keep what you really need for your daily expenses in the checking. And that all ties back to the budgeting piece of it, because once you have fine-tuned and honed down to how your money flows in and out of your accounts, how much you make and how much you get to keep, minus the taxes and minus all the other tax strategies, which we will talk about in another session, then you will be able to know what your true expenses are and how much you should be having in the different accounts that you have. As a piece of advice, I typically like to say, at least make sure you have an emergency savings account, and make sure that you have enough in your checking to take care of all your expenses. You obviously don't just want to put the bare minimum in your checking, because you do not want to fall into the trap of getting insufficient funds or overdraft notices, because that is just not saving smartly or using your accounts smartly or wisely. So I would definitely say, don't like go over the top with limiting how much you put in your checking account, but just make sure that it's sufficient enough to take care of all your needs and have some left over. And then for your savings, obviously you want to put aside something for a rainy day, and this could be, think of the worst thing that could happen to you where you would need to take out money to pay for it, that's what your emergency funds should be. That's the amount that you're really looking at. That figure is the amount that you should look at. And typically people will say put at least 3 to 6 months worth of savings into an emergency fund. Well, 3 to 6 months worth of expenses into your emergency fund. And that can be like a starting point for you, because if you were to lose your job tomorrow and you had that buffer, then it would give you time without having to stress to be able to find another job to replace it, or find another way to start earning income to replace that income that you lost. Okay, so I know I've talked a lot about a lot of things in this video, but really the main thing is it's February now. We have about 10 more months to go, well, 10 and some weeks to go before we are bringing in a new year again. And as the time goes by, just make sure you're focused and you are measuring your goals consistently, and you're using smart benchmarks to get to your goals. And if you need someone to support your growth journey, I would recommend definitely having like a financial partner to help you, like a financial buddy. And if you just want to share with me how you are managing your goals this month or for this year, please do so in the chat, or you can reach out to me too by email. All right, that's all I have for you today. I'm excited. I will be very excited to talk about some of the tax saving strategies I use that I would love to share with you, so you can use them too. And that should be coming sometime down the road, maybe in the next couple of months or so. So watch out for that if you're someone who's interested in learning about that. And for anything else regarding retirement, investments, I will also be sharing as much information as I can with you. As a disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor, so I'm not a licensed CPA. Everything that I'm sharing with you is something I have personally worked on, and that has worked for me to build my wealth and to build my financial muscle, my financial knowledge, and put me in a better place than I was 10, 15 years ago. All right, if you have any other questions for me, feel free to reach out. And that's it for today. See you on the next one. Bye.